Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to a late night chat here tonight. Just myself and Vin right now. I guess we neither one of us could sleep. I uh, I just got back from rink number two. Another night game. We usually don't have night games up there, but we had a couple of night games, and tonight the home team lost pretty badly. But it was a fast game, though. I was kind of happy with that. It was a fast game, so I was able to get right home and yeah, I figured we'll jump on and say hi and see what some people are doing here tomorrow. I have an afternoon game tomorrow, so I don't know if it's going to be in the morning or in the afternoon. I will get the Christmas video out for the Patreons and the channel members, and we'll get that out of the way tomorrow. So you guys have, 5 or 6 days or whatever it is to put the prizes in order that you would like. Okay.
Oh, look, boss, we're not the only ones still awake.
No, nice.
There's
Bob
our
comes by.
buddy
Hi,
Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob is actually donating something to
No,
the raffle too. Yep, yep.
she's gonna cut corners for somebody.
Barbara comes by. I wonder if I could show.
There's Ryan. He and I were just messaging.
Okay, so hang on one second here. Let's go to the main wheel. Alrighty. So as Ryan comes by, so here's a little preview of how we're planning on doing the Christmas show. Let's see if I can share this with everyone. Vin.
All
So,
five of us.
yeah. All right. So this is the wheel of names that I'm going to be using here that I've been practicing with. Okay. So as you can see, we have a couple of things going on. We have the Patreon group, the YouTube group, and then chat rooms 1, 2, and 3. I'm assuming we're going to have. I think I can only put 50 names on a wheel, so I'll put 50 names on a wheel for chat room 1, 2, and 3. So we'll have up to, I think, 150. If it gets more than that, maybe I'll wing something. I don't know. But all I'm going to do is just spin the wheel like this. All right. We're going to spin that wheel.
Look, Bob,
And
it's like 1976 all over again.
yeah,
When that's
and
spinning.
so that's going to be chat room 2. So chat room 2 will be the winner. Until then, what I will do, okay, so we're just going to leave it like this. So then what I will do is open up chat room number 2, and I'll have all the names on here, and I'll spin that, and that will be our winner. Okay, in the chat room, and I just put some stock names in there just for right now. So in this case, Dave L would be the winner, and how that would work with Dave L is he would have, I think we said 2 to 3 minutes to get a hold of us in the chat room and just say, "Hey, I'm here, and this is what I would like for my prize," and then we'll figure out how we're going to connect you with the prize that you have won. That's kind of how it's going to work. Now, if it happens to be, let's see, like the YouTubes here. Okay, again, I don't have any listed in YouTube, but if it's the YouTube, then we'll spin here, and the YouTube winner does not need to be here. Neither do the Patreon people, and so I would contact Jeff. I'd look at his list. I would see what Jeff wanted, and I would take that off the list. So every time somebody wins a prize, I will take that off the list. So that is kind of how it's going to go. So I will take that off, and I will stop sharing. But that's kind of the plan, Vin, is
Looks good.
is to do something like that. Because again, we can't. I don't want to put too many people on the wheel, you know. So it's just going to be one of these things where the first couple of spins or so will go to the YouTubes and the Patreons because they're again the financial supporters of the show, so they'll get the wins, and then we'll open up to everybody. We'll spin that main wheel, and then everybody has a fair chance to get in on the prizes there at some point. So
Here's a
um,
question. I see Brian Hoxie. Hello, pal. Well, if he wins, and it's not like a play game, is he going to play it?
well, I mean, the
Because
thing is, he'll get his
Brian is a
choice.
play
As we start giving
man.
it away, whatever is left, you will have your choice. That's kind of how we're going to do it there, because I don't want to say this prize is for this and give it to somebody that already has it. So I'd rather you
Brian
just pick your
Brian
prize.
owns more play than Keith. Yeah, Brian's a big play gamer.
Oh boy, Mark's teasing us here. 78 in Tampa. It's not bad over here right now. It's 33, 34 degrees. I was not cold at the rink tonight.
Oh,
I
it's
did not.
70 in my basement. I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah, I did not freeze on the way home tonight, which is kind of nice. So, um, anyway, let's see. Did I get Ryan here on the chat? Ryan on the chat. Yep.
Yeah, we said hello. I told you we were chatting
Okay.
online
And then
too.
the Brian comes by.
Ryan's gonna help me with lacrosse.
Mr. Frank. That's one game I couldn't get into.
Oh, let me tell you, I tell my friends. I'm not saying Brad, but I was a good athlete. I played well. I played with guys 10 years older than me, and that sport wasn't even around. But
Yeah. Yeah.
my athleticism was built for that game, man. I would have loved to have played it. I would have loved to play it. Now it's good
It
that
is.
it's on my table and I'm
I
in
was
there.
leaving high school, and it was just coming up, and they just started to put together a team the year after I left. I think it was.
Yeah, no, I
So I
never.
didn't play it. I couldn't be bothered with it. I don't know, Ray. I don't know who Tristan Jarry is.
Come on.
I don't follow hockey.
He was the Penguins goal. He just got traded to Edmonton. He
I
stinks.
I don't know who he is.
Nah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Um,
Goalies are a product of what's in front of them, as
and
my
Craig says
Canadians suffered tonight. So,
12
oh,
below in Eau Claire tonight.
oh,
Yeah. And Mr. Little comes by. Dave, we still got to get some wrestling going.
Dave, this is all I hear every time I talk to Mr. Gardner.
We were supposed to get the wrestling, and then it fell through. And I still want to play that. I still want to do the wrestling. I want to play the basic game, and I also want to play the full game. So, um, yeah. Oh, Dave had the wrestling on today. Yeah, I was at the rink tonight, so I didn't get to it. I was actually on the phone trying to walk Barbara through some shootout hockey tonight. I was trying to help her out with the shootout hockey. So
-7, Patrick.
yeah, -7 in South D.
Nice.
Wow. I had a friend. I don't want to call him a friend. I had a guy I work with. Okay, and he was from, I don't know if it was North Dakota or South Dakota, and he used to tell me that like all their cars, you plugged in the heating block. And so when you went home at night, it was so cold there at night that there was this extension cord coming out of your car, out of the engine. It was just sticking out, and you would plug that in so it didn't freeze at night. It was so cold.
I had a friend Kent who lived there for years. I don't know. That's
Yep, I don't know how you live like that. And he said actually that a lot of times people would go into the go shopping, food shopping, or go in to get something, and everyone left their car running because it was just too cold to not run if you didn't have it plugged in. At least that's what he told me. And he said no one ever stole anybody's car because everyone did it. And, you'd get in serious trouble, obviously, if you did. But I don't know if people still do it nowadays, but that's how they did it out there. They left their cars running when in the stores, and then when they come home, they plugged it in to an electrical outlet so it wouldn't freeze. At least that's the story I was told. Yeah. Okay, Patrick says, yeah, it keeps the engine block warm and the oil pan warm. Okay.
so, Patrick. You have to do that also. You still do that?
And the block heater. Okay, so I was not being told a tall tale. And Dave Little says maybe after Christmas. Yeah, after the holidays. Let's get through the holidays, and then we'll get together and we'll do some wrestling. Hey, what happened, Dave? What happened with Cena tonight? That was his last match, I heard.
Yeah. For how
And
long? Till they
Gus
offer
says
him more money.
Gus said -22.
Oh my goodness
It was a
gracious.
dry cold. Yeah, that's still
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad when it's dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
John says it's a dry cold in the Dakotas, pretty different than the Northeast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they say
Okay.
Arizona. It's 110, but it's dry heat. Okay. Still pass out.
Yeah. Yeah. And the new cars don't have that issue or don't have
Oh,
that connection. Okay.
okay.
And Some Roads comes by. Thank you so much for stopping by. AP in the chat.
I got to tell you, we're talking about cold weather. The one person I always think of every time I have freezing temperatures, Mike Owens, right? A lot of people know Mike
Yeah, yeah,
Owens.
yeah, yeah.
What a wonderful guy. He's up in Winnipeg, and he threw some temperatures at me over the years. I'm like,
Oh,
Mike, how do you live? How do you live there? I think some places should be barren of people, man. It's crazy.
the
God bless them.
so Cena. Well, why is it that the WWF or WWE, whatever it is, why do they always send people off with a loss? I could never understand that. I thought it was a Vince McMahon thing, but I don't think he's around anymore. So they just I know everyone can't go out on a high, but the Undertaker going out the way he did, it was like, yeah, that was kind of silly. Um, and Bret Hart with this Montreal screw job, that's
Oh,
kind of crazy.
he was my favorite.
Here's a question for you. So on the way home tonight, right after I get done talking to you, I had the sports radio on, and the guy was talking about Cena's last match and the whole bit, and they were saying how Cena is like the most popular wrestler ever, and he, and so he was like, I don't know about that, So I guess the question to you in the chat room, we'll get a little wrestling talk in here, is who would be on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling? If there was a Mount Rushmore of wrestling, who do you guys think would be on that? I mean, I only watched it in the 70s, in the 80s, a little bit in the 90s, but I really haven't watched it in 25 years. But I did go to a couple of shows here in Boston or Worcester when I was a kid, and then once right after I got married. And we actually saw the match that Mankind beat The Rock when Stone Cold come out and hit The Rock with a chair, put Mankind on him. That
You were
was
there for that?
I was there for that. That's a very famous one you see
Oh
all the time.
yeah,
And I was like, I was there for that one. That was a taping on what was a Sunday or Monday night.
Mankind. You talk about a guy that gave up his body for
Oh my
something he
gosh,
loved.
did he? Yeah. So yeah, I was there for that one. But I don't know who I would put on that. I mean, because you got some classics, and then you got some ones that maybe weren't back in the 60s or 70s. You got some newer ones, but then you have all these guys in the last 20, 25 years. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously Hulk Hogan is huge. I
he's
would
got
say
to be the first.
he's got to be on the Mount Rushmore, Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
yeah.
But do you put like the Ultimate Warrior? Does he make
Nah,
Mount Rushmore?
nah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
always loved him.
Yeah.
But again, does he make it to that level? Andre the Giant. Everybody knows Andre the Giant, but
Another one.
is he one that goes up on the Mount Rushmore? I mean, if you had to pick the top, 4 or 5
Time out.
guys?
There'll be no more Rangers talk, all right? Or you will be bounced out of here. Thank you.
Oh, Scott, we always had the snow in
We don't want to
Ohio.
hear about the Rangers winning. I know. I think that's an age thing too, because when I think of wrestling, I think of Bruno Sammartino, but I do jump right to Hulk Hogan. I think Hulk Hogan is number one. I do. God rest his
I
soul.
just think that what he did and what he provided, his whole demeanor, his whole Hulkamania, the way he did everything just was so good. And good guy, bad guy. He did it a long time, so a lot of people knew him. Just kind of how he handled everything. I would say he has to be on there for sure.
He
I don't
brought
know about
this.
Flair. Flair's done it for a long time, but does
Oh,
he get to that level?
I don't know.
Does he? Does he? I mean, there's a lot of guys who are like right on the bubble.
I
You
think
know,
Hulk Hogan
I think
brought.
Undertaker would make it. Undertaker's always a favorite of mine.
He could be. I think
Undertaker's
what you
probably up there.
Bobo Brazil. Listen to these names. I love it. Yeah. But Hulk Hogan brought
Oh, so many people in
wrestling
the rest.
to its highest level. And it is what it is today because of him. Kind of feel like that with Tiger Woods with golf.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan with wrestling. I don't think I think nobody can get past him as being the
I would say I think he did in a certain way. He did the most for wrestling because he brought it from the late 70s and 80s. Is when I think he came in and he brought the whole Hulkamania thing right to the 90s and 2000s, and he brought a lot of eyes
yes.
into it.
He made
Um,
it what it is.
Gus likes Hulk, Andre Macho Man, and Stone Cold. Andre maybe, yeah, yeah. Cena deserves the accolades. He was the best ambassador for the sport, says Dave Little, and the Make a Wish visit guy. He did a lot for people. I never really watched him wrestle though. That's the thing. I mean, again, I haven't watched it in the last 25 years. I know who he was. Um, Tony comes by and says Andre, Flair, Austin, Cena, and Taker.
I mean, if you like I said, if there's no Bruno Sammartino, there's no '70s wrestling. If there's no '70s wrestling, which led to the Hulk Hogan era of
Yeah,
becoming like he blew it up. Hulk Hogan blew it up. A lot of these guys were really great. They were big names, but we talking Mount Rushmore. Let's put it, in perspective.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's kind of like when you talk to people. And Patrick said Flair could do it all.
oh, you could.
Ultimate bad guy. Yeah. And another one there. Bob says Bruno. Some was like George the Animal Steel. He was more of a gimmick than
Yeah, but
anything.
not a whole, not a
Yeah,
Mount
he's not going
Rushmore
to make
guy.
it to the top. Gorilla
I loved him.
Monsoon.
My nanny got arrested. So when I was young, I used to go over to her head and
Yeah,
Rose the animals. Did she be Vincent? Cut it.
yeah.
My mom got arrested, so would be yelling at me. But every time I think of George the Animal Steel, I'd grab my nanny's head and start like
Oh,
fake biting it.
yeah.
Oh, she was so cute. She
I
was
don't know about Snooker. Snooker he came in all flash there in the 70s, early 80s,
he was great, but he's not a
but
Mount Rushmore guy.
he wasn't around long enough, I think, to make that jump to the Mount Rushmore.
Because if you think Snooker is, what about Shawn Michaels?
Shawn Michaels was always one of my favorite, but he was kind of a jerk.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
love to hate him.
yeah. I mean, I've seen him so many times when he was with D-Generation X in the 2000, 2001. That was kind of fun, and um, just the whole, just his demeanor and the whole bit. I just thought he was pretty cool. His intro and how I was a Michaels guy. I really was. I did like Shawn Michaels. I heard some bad things about him, but I mean,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I hate hearing that. But
Yeah, Christopher comes by.
I said if I was in the
Tim
general public, Sting was one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
and Tim thought Cena retired a long time ago. Yeah, I don't know he was still wrestling. Um, yeah, that's a good point by AP. Mount Rushmore should be one for the good guys and one for the
One
bad guys.
the
That's
face and
actually
heels.
not a bad idea because there was a lot of guys that you did hate as a wrestler, and they were good at it.
Very
And
good at it.
and it's just you're right. It's almost like you know they want their own. You don't want to put them on Mount Rushmore because of they were such a jerk, such a bad guy in wrestling. So, but you got to give them their comeuppance and say, I think that
I like
I
wrestling.
got 2 words for you. Yeah.
You're gonna make me break out ST's wrestling game
Yeah.
now.
Oh, Barbara's in a Discord. She stopped watching. She's in Discord right now, and she likes Sting.
What is she doing wrestling in Discord? What did I do?
I don't know what she does.
Bob, you like the fabulous Moolah? You kick butt?
And Wild Samoans. Samoan number 1 and Samoan number 2. I used to like that Alpha and Sika, the Samoans. One of them just died recently, I think. When I have this game, it's called Chris's Dice Wrestling Game. And it's just a simple, fun kind of game. It's just you roll the dice and see what happens. It's a lot like the Phil Singer wrestling. It's a very basic game. And I always play one of the Samoans. I either grab Alpha or Sika and I have them wrestle because he has a whole bunch of wrestlers in there. And that's what I always do. I always do the Samoans of one or the other, sometimes both. And if you remember in Creep Show, the movie Creep Show, right?
I never watched it, but I remember it.
Okay, we'll go to a new scene right now. All right, so in the movie Creep Show, right?
Look at Barbara. She's kicking butt in there. What's the wrestling game? Bob, you got to text me some information on that. Although I love ST's board game. Go ahead. Creep Show.
All right, so in the movie Creep Show, Stephen King, who actually wrote it, was in. He always plays a small part in all his movies,
Yeah.
and he played this hillbilly in this cabin, and a meteor come down out of outer space and landed in his backyard. Okay, and the whole premise behind this little skit in Creep Show, because Creep Show was a bunch of small little skits, right? And so he grabbed the meteor and it broke open and the liquid got on him and it turned him into a plant. Okay, that's kind of what happened. Spoiler alert. So Stephen King, he goes back to his little cabin in the woods and he's trying to scrub the stuff off his hand. And he sits down in front of the TV. It's a black and white TV. And what's he watching? He's watching black and white wrestling from the 70s.
Oh.
And it was the Samoans. Samoan number 1, Samoan number 2. I forget who they were fighting. But he was watching wrestling and it's like, that was kind of cool. He's watching the Samoan. So that's I probably watched that same match, on TV that he was watching in the movie, Oh, this is a good one. Killer Kowalski says some roads over there. I actually did work for Killer Kowalski back in 1988, 89.
Did you?
Yeah, all kidding aside. I was living in this town, and I signed up for the TV production department, which was free, you know. Um, and in any so they showed you how to work cameras and do switchboards, stuff like that. And Kowalski showed up one day and says, I want a crew to come film some of my new wrestling league. And so we went. We were like the students, and so the person who ran the TV crews took us and showed us what to do, and we ended up doing a few shows for Kowalski. One of them, I was a director, and I was pushing the buttons. It's like camera 2 over here, camera 3 over here, camera 4 over here. And other times I
Cool.
was on camera right up on the ring trying to hang on for dear life while they were beating each other up. And
Cool.
it was fun. I got to talk to the wrestlers before and after the shows, and we hung out in the whole bit. It was fun. I remember that we did one. It was a battle royale, and so I get the headphones on. We get the cameras going, and Kowalski's on the headset, and he's inside the locker room telling me who to look for. It was really cool. He's like, all right, guy with the green mask. He's out next. Get on him. So I'm like, camera 1, green mask. So camera 1, okay, camera 1, take camera 1. And then he goes over the ring. He's out. All right, follow him out. Follow the green mask. Okay, now we'll go back to the ring. And he's like, okay, the next guy is like the red tights. All right, red tights.
Cool.
You know, and so we kept doing it that way. So it's camera 2, get on the red tights, you know. And so it was super fun. We
I'll
had a
bet.
lot of fun
Bet.
with it. Yeah, it was
Good
a
for
good time.
you.
Yep. Yep.
Some roads, you mentioned Asbury Park. I'm not far from there. You still in that area? I won't say what it is, but not that it's hard to find. But
We had Marco coming by. There is Mr. Marco. Good to see you.
Marco, you're too young to have sleep like deprivation.
I think I want to change my style here. I like trying the different styles here. And Roddy Piper was good. Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Mike skills, fantastic.
My
Another one.
friend, guy used to play in my league. I'm just testing my. Oh, I like that. It's a little faster. The guy used to play in my league is like a comic book writer, and he wrote a movie, and Roddy Piper was in it. And actually the who was the Gremlins? It was the Gremlins, right?
Spielberg.
The guy, the boy. I won't say the boy. The guy that got adopted the Gremlin, whatever his name was, the guy with the black hair.
Lucky I remember my wife's name. You're going far back.
So anyway, the guy that was in Gremlins as the guy that got the Gremlin as a gift, he was in it too, and but poor guy. He had a one night showing here at the local theater, and so we all went. And as part of the league, we all went to support him. Right, halfway through, everybody walked out. It turned out it was just like a guards raping prisoners type movie. just like all these women are walking out. It's like, what do you think, dude? You know, it's like, I wanted to be there to support you. He's just standing there watching everybody leave. Like, so what do you think of the movie? Like, I guess I think I was the only guy that stayed the whole time.
I think I told you we were very good friends with a guy who was one of the biggest photographers for wrestling. I would think like ever. This guy George Napolitano, his son played in the Little League Baseball. I played for them years ago, but
Okay.
my brother ended up being the president. I coached there, and so yeah, he was a good guy, and I believe I heard he had passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, some roads, you're right there. Oh, we gotta hook up, man. We gotta hook up.
Them was a great movie. Yeah.
But yeah, George Napolitano. I don't know who I was talking to. It might have been at the D2D con, and I was telling them they knew him. George was big with unbelievable photos. The rest of the magazines, they probably took half the pictures that were in them.
Zach Gilligan, yeah, he was the other guy in the movie. I don't remember that.
Okay.
The movie was called the Chair, I think. Well, something to do with a chair.
Sorry, but I'm not even turning that on. A movie called The Chair.
No, don't put it on. It was about a guy in jail and why he was in jail. Something about his brother died or killed. I don't know. I don't remember. It was just like, wow. It's just didn't need some of those scenes, you know.
I'm not
Yeah,
into that
Randy
dark stuff.
Johnson. Yeah, Randy Johnson. He took one of the epic photos of Rush that they used on one of their album covers, I think, or
Randy
famous,
Johnson, who?
the
Who's
picture.
Ran- Come on.
Oh, he's a famous photographer. Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Yep. And yeah, he took one picture of Rush, and I don't know if it's one of their live albums or DVD covers, but yeah, Randy Johnson took the
It's
picture.
also
Yep.
very dangerous to wildlife.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah. They live. That was the one with Roddy Piper and the aliens. That's still a great movie. Great movie. But this other one that he was in, it was actually the last movie that he played in. Roddy played in was this. He's played a prison guard. That was the last movie he played in before he died.
Look, Ryan says Ken Griffey Jr. too. Wow.
Mm.
I didn't know these things. I guess I got to get out more.
That's why they're here. Stick to Godzilla movies. I was watching one. Do you know what, Todd? Do you know what's kind of funny about this? Not funny, but just funny. Is I was watching Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I think. I don't know if there's one or two, but I was watching it. So we've been watching it, and then we turn it off because I have it on the DVD, and I just put it on once in a while. I didn't realize it was the 30th. I think somebody said it was the 30th anniversary of that movie, and I just happened to put it in my DVD player on the 30th anniversary, so it was kind of neat. Yes, Rush is coming back. If you want to mortgage your house, you can go see them. I ain't going. Somebody
Really?
found a cheap ticket too. I'm like,
What are they asking?
I want to say they start at like $200 and go up from there, and that's if you want to sit, in outer space somewhere,
Hmm.
which is too bad. It's just a lot of people are excited about it, but they're like, man, it's like the regular person's not going to be able to go, which is kind of a bummer.
Led Zeppelin, they're not coming by, but I'd love to see them too. I just seen what's his name do a rendition of it. He couldn't hit the high notes like he did, but
Yeah.
he altered it great. Robert Plant doing the Battle of Evermore, and I love that song.
Yeah.
Love that song. But yeah, he still do it. He did it great. But
I just watched. Finished watching today when I come home from work was Spinal Tap: The End. So the Spinal Tap just released last month. I think it was they did a Spinal Tap 2, if you want to call it that, and it just had all the original guys back in it.
that's a band.
Yeah, you never heard of Spinal Tap? The movie Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap from 1982. It's a spoof on a heavy metal band. Is what it is. It's picture like Weird Al Yankovic doing heavy metal, and that's what it was.
Okay.
And it was so good because if you played in a band in the 80s, like I did, you could relate to a lot of the things in the movie. So it was a funny movie about music and the music business and being in a band. And so it was more enjoyable because I was in a band. And so they've done a couple of albums. Actually, they're not bad musicians. They're pretty good musicians. And they put out some stuff, but they decided to do a follow-up or a remake or whatever it was. And I just watched that tonight. And it had some funny moments. Again, very band specific. It's like they were on stage trying out some stuff, and they, guys trying out his new pedal, and it was shaped like a pizza, and it made weird noises. It just stupid fun things like that. And it was okay, but Elton John was in it. And Paul McCartney was in it.
Live years ago at the Garden. Wow, what a show!
Yep. So he ends up getting hurt and goes in the hospital. But it was fun to see him in. He's like, oh man, I've always loved these guys, and it's such a thrill to be playing with Spinal Tap. It's just like they're a fake band,
Yeah, the two bands.
Is it a mockumentary? A mockumentary. Yeah.
The two bands I saw the most, hands down, like countless times, were the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead. That was just like
These
go big with music like that.
These go to 11. There are so many one-liners out of Spinal. It was like the movie Airplane. You just had all these one-liners out of Airplane that you use, and the same with Spinal Tap. Just so many of the one-liners. It was just so funny, and they tried to rekindle that magic here in this one, and to a certain degree they did. It obviously didn't match up to the first one, but there was still some funny lines in there, and they did doing their stupid spiel. Like one of the things they did. They were presenting them with something. They said, oh, check out this. And so they put something on the table in front of them, right? And it was covered with this cloth. And they go, oh man, this is awesome. And like, no, it's not the cloth. It's under the cloth. Oh, yes, that was a pretty good cloth, I thought. He thought they were showing him. What do you think of this cloth? It's great.
See, that's me. I like stupid humor.
It was.
Man. I
You,
do.
you had to
I
pick
love
up
it.
on some of that stuff, you know.
I like
Yes, and
stupid humor.
it was Rob Reiner doing that one. Yep, and he was in it again, kind of doing the same thing. It was okay. I have a HBO Max, you know, because I have HBO, so I have HBO Max, and they have all the Godzilla movies. That's kind of why I have it. But I clicked on there tonight. I was shocked to see it. It's like, oh, cool. I'll start watching. So I ended up watching it in a couple of different settings today. Yeah, there are a lot of people that need to think about that, you know. Yeah. And Fenner comes by. Good to see you,
Hey,
Fenner.
Nana, what's
Good to
up,
see you.
boss?
And yes, I guess we could talk about this for a minute, Vin. The payoff pitch for PC.
Why
That
not? Everybody is.
Oh boy, was that was all the rage this week as well. It should have been. That was holy cow, out of nowhere.
And you
That-
know, I'm not too impressed. I've seen a lot, as many of us have. He nailed it, Dana nailed it. And it's
He's-
not done.
It's not done, and he's so close. I mean, there's some things I've been, you know, testing it and talking to him, and I said there are some things, at least for me, that absolutely have to happen for me to want to play that. It's so close, but what I didn't like is like the double plays got rolled automatically. You can't have me roll some of the dice. I'm either gonna roll them all or I ain't gonna roll any. But just, you know, and he's like, okay, I'll try for that. And I says also, like the bunts and the steals, you just hit bunt and then it rolled it and gave the result. It's like there's a couple of games that do that, and it's just like you don't feel like you're part of it. So if it's gonna be like that, then I'm just gonna play cards and dice. So
What would you like to see if on the bunts? Like you want to see the play being made?
I want to like what I do on bunts is I get I first of all I roll to see if they get the jump and if they're going to steal. So there's a chart for that. And then if they're going to steal, it's the catcher's arm and the runner's steal rating. So let's just say the arm is 3 and he's a B stealer. I'm just kind of off the top of my head throwing this.
Yeah.
So you look B3. Or maybe it's reverse. Maybe it's the runner with the B and the catcher with it. I don't know. But so you combine the catcher and the guy trying to steal, and that gives you, like I say, a B2, a B3, A1, D2, if you follow any of that. And you go to the chart, and it tells you it's either excellent, very good, good, bad, or poor. There's like 5 ratings to steal, and you flip a fast action card and get the result. That's what it is. Or you can roll on a chart, but the fast action card is the best way, and that's what I would want. I would want to first off see if I get the jump, and then flip a fast action card to see if I'm in there.
Yeah, but I'm saying a bunt. You're saying you don't like the way the bunt is.
And the bunt was
How
automatic.
Much did you add to a bunt.
Well, the bunt, you roll the dice to see what happens on the bunt too. Actually, no, you flip the card. You flip the fast action card on the bunt because the guy's got a bunt rating A, B, C, D, E, F or something like that, and you flip. And if it's a B, you look on the B bunter, and it'll say, the sacrifice to the catcher. So it's a good bunt, and he sacrificed the man over. Or it'll say, something else, and the guy's thrown out at second. It's a bad bunt, or maybe it's a double play, or maybe it's an error. So, but you actually flip the card to see what it is,
Right?
And in the game right now, it says, "Here's what happened on the bunt."
Oh,
and it confused me too because I was like, "Well, did we bunt? Did we not?" And again, it's early, and I'm not dumping on the game, but that's stuff that I need to see. I need to be able to roll everything in the game because then it will replace my tabletop to a certain degree.
Yeah, you want to see like, successful bunt. Oh, he might even beat it out for a hit.
Yeah, I want to, like I say, I like playing the cards and dice version of that. And so if that's what it's going to be, then that's what I want. Like even with Strat, you don't roll for everything. And that's how I learned the game is I was trying to learn how to play Strat Advanced by playing the Advanced. And then like, well, some things happen automatically. So I can't roll and learn because you just said, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't play if I'm going to do that, I'll play Action PC.
Yeah.
And just hit the button and just go. But if I'm playing a game and I'm rolling dice and then all of a sudden, well, you can't roll for this, it sours me. And there's a handful of games that sour me like that are PC games. So
you and I had talked. Dana, he was legitimately wholeheartedly open.
Yeah.
To suggestions and stuff.
Yeah. And everything I've sent to him, he's told me that other people said the same thing.
Right.
So I'm not like too far off. And can I recommend a fast play NBA basketball game? Well, it depends how fast you want, but I would suggest Baseline Basketball from Powder Blue Sports from John Turnbull.
No argument for me.
That is fantastic.
It's my favorite of his games.
And you can get some stats out of that too, but it's a you roll every couple. I think it's what 3-minute segments or something like that. You roll and get the amount of points. That's a fun one, and it's free. Or you can buy printed version. He'll send it to you.
And they're nice, the printed stuff, and it's very, very affordable.
Yep. And he's offering a free game in our raffle too. In a week or so.
Yep.
So that's one. Regular season basketball kind of does the same thing in basic mode, and they have an advanced mode where you can get all the stats. That's a real fun game too.
Dave, you haven't played Highlight Maker, right?
No, I've not played any of the basketball.
I hear that
games
plays really fast and you get some stats. I like the full version.
Now, if you want something really, really quick, then Downey Ultra Quick Basketball is another fun one. And that's just a couple of quick rolls and you're done. Also,
I like that other one you played.
Player of the Game?
No. Chris White makes it. But I think
VSU basketball. Yeah, VSU sports. That's a fun one. You roll like 10 or 15 dice to figure out what the score is going to be. That was fun too. I enjoyed that. And the other one was the Player of the Game basketball from Downey. That's more of a math equation than it is a basketball game. But after you set up everything, you start rolling your dice and you add up your score and you kind of build it from the bottom of the bench to your starters, and it's really fun. Again, I'm a numbers guy, so I kind of like it anyway. But I like that.
Did you ever play Avalon Hill's March Madness?
I'm not a basketball guy, and that's college basketball, so I will probably never ever even look at that.
It was a fun game though. Kind of had the same concept. You roll dice and you could give certain rolls to the certain scorers. They're graded. You get the point. It was pretty exciting.
Mo says Payoff will be able to program all that into the game based on customer feedback. Yeah, I think you're right, Mo. From what everybody's saying, everybody's pretty much in agreement what they would like to see. And I think he was okay, if that's what everybody wants, well, that's what we'll try to do. So he was taking notes, Fenner, I would agree with that. Stone Cold, I haven't played it much lately. It's still a great game. And Gary's been a little quiet, although he did put out something the other day. I did get a newsletter from him. So I got the Base Camp newsletter from Stone Cold Sport, whatever it is. I forget the name of his company.
Stone Mountain Press.
Stone Mountain Press.
Mm-hmm.
I did get it. I was surprised to see an email from him explaining a couple things about, what's going on. So he's still around. I think he's still working on the baseball game. Let me see here. Going back in the chat, people just okay. Yeah, hopefully that helped. Again, I might have some videos of all those games I talked about that I played on my channel here. So I got the Player of the Game, the Baseline Basketball, which I think is very fun. Regular season basketball, ultra quick basketball. Vin, those quick games can be kind of fun.
Yes,
they really can. I mean, just you roll the dice, you get the results, and it's over. So you don't get full stats or anything, but it's still kind of fun, especially like when you get a football game or a basketball game, it goes quarter by quarter. It makes it fun because you get the first quarters and you see hey, what a terrible second quarter they had. Can they come back? And I've had some exciting finishes in those games there where it's like, okay, this team is down by 20 points. They need 20 points to win this game. You roll the dice and you get 21 or something like that. Holy cow, they pulled it out by a point, So I've had some fun with those.
For me, I'm not against quick play games. They're just not my go-to. But what I do enjoy, if I'm going to sit upstairs in the kitchen, I sit at the table sometimes at night. It's nice and quiet there. And, my house is pretty quiet anyway. But I don't have to bring a lot up there with me for a quick play game.
Yeah.
And I could just relax. Sometimes I just want to hear, what's going on in the room with my daughter. Might wake up, she might stir. I can go in there. And I just sit there at the table and I can play. And some of them are a lot of fun and could be really exciting. I just want to address Fenner too. He asked about, yes, Keith did mention that. that they were gonna come out with a college set that's going to have, don't quote me, like 180 teams.
Really?
And I don't know when it's going to be out, but knowing Keith, it'll be by, Keith are actually singing, now people are singing Keith's swan song, and it's so far from that.
That's
It's
it.
just,
He's trying to make it manageable for himself right
that's
now.
it.
That's
That's
all it
it.
is, and then he's gonna take it from there. That's what we all do when we get overwhelmed. Um, I do have me and Dave Little are supposed to play. Legends of Wrestling. Legends of Wrestling. I have the Phil Singer. I
That's
think it is.
Dave's. Dave's is Phil Singer.
Yeah, I don't think I have Legends of Wrestling that I can remember. I don't
Wait, that's
remember.
not Tommy Vogel's game, is it? Legend? Yes.
I don't know if I
No,
have
that's
Legends.
wrestling's finest. That's wrestling's
I don't.
finest.
I don't know what. Yeah. I have the Phil Singer Wrestling, and I played offline because I'm trying to learn it, and I don't want to put it up if it's wrong. So I want to get with Dave Little. He's going to walk me through that, the Phil Singer one. I have Chris's dice wrestling, dice game when it's one or whatever it's called. I have that one. I have a couple of Downey wrestling games, which are kind of weird. You just kind of roll to see who wins. There's not a lot of strategy or anything. Excuse me. I don't know if I have any of the Legends of Wrestling or Legends of Boxing. If I do, I just don't remember.
He just posted. He's referring to Phil Singer.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's right behind me. I can actually touch it with my finger over here. So it's right off to the camera here. And every now and then I pull out and I play a game of Basic, but Dave's supposed to walk me through that so I can show it off and make sure that I'm correct,
How about you, Dave? Where's that? So some roads just asked if there's a basketball game that compares to APA Basic Baseball, understanding that it's baseball, it's a lot quicker. But I don't know you played some of the Downey ones. Are
I,
they?
I, yeah, so basketball. If it's basketball's tough because it's like football. It's like, can you recommend a full play football game that's not going to take me over an hour? It doesn't exist, And basketball is going to take you out. I like bank shot basketball. I think that plays nice and easy. It doesn't play quick because it's a long game. But that's one of my favorite games to play is bank shot basketball when I play basketball. It's just I know I'm in for a long day, like an APA football game. I would say that's fairly easy, like an APA baseball basic. I mean, what you do is you flip the card, basically see who has the ball and who's defending them, and then you roll dice. And when you flip the fast action card, it tells you who's guarding you and whose card you're reading off of, the guy with the ball or the guy defending him. You roll the dice, you get the result off of either one of those cards that you need to, and it tells you what happened on the play.
Yeah. As
It's
far as
that
quick
simple.
play, though, that's tough to think of.
Yeah,
Strat Basic is great. It plays quick. I still rather bank shot for me. I also rather the highlight maker prime time, the full version. But people rave about the highlight maker hoops. I don't have the rules for that.
Yeah. So it depends. I mean, if you're looking for a game you don't mind spending an hour and a half, 2 hours on, then you're looking at a full play basketball game like bank shot. Baseline basketball is just kind of rolling to get your points. The same with the VSU basketball. Ultra quick is obviously ultra quick. There's just kind of ratings for overall team ratings. In regular season basketball, that's pretty fun because with regular season basketball, you roll, you get your points, and then you follow along. Whatever the dice roll is for points, you follow along this grid, and it tells you who got the points and who got the rebounds.
Nice.
And so, so it's okay. Let's just say there were, you scored 6 points during this 3-minute span. It's going to tell you Bird went 2 for 3. DJ he was 2 for 2 on free throws, and this guy was 0 for 2. So it tells you everything that happened on that play.
In real life basketball?
No, in regular season basketball. That's Marco's game. Marco.
Okay.
From Italy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a fun one there. Let's see here. And Dave Little says Legends of Wrestling is the title of Phil Singer's game. Okay. I'm sorry. I did not know that. Blaine, I apologize. Again, I just didn't know that. For some reason, I was thinking Legends of Boxing for some reason when I thought the Legends of Wrestling.
That's Gary's
Um,
game.
so anyway, yeah, Sean brings up a good point. Replay basketball on PC.
If you like the PC.
And it works really well. It really does play like the card and dice version. Not that I have the card and dice version, but you can roll your own dice and put it in and play the game.
Fantastic.
It is. It's a very good. That's a one that plays pretty quick, and the PC handles all the heavy lifting. Yeah. So that'd be the way to go with that one. And Fenner says, I read the Base Camp newsletter. I may get Dice United game and have a highlight style game of soccer like hockey. Sounds fun. I have the Dice United soccer. I played the first version. There's a second one out there. I think I played it right. I think. It was okay. Again, I'm not a soccer guy. So I played it, and I think I played it right. I think I had a 1-0 game. I was looking more at the and Craig says Dice United is fun and easy game to learn. I had kicked around the APA soccer, and I don't know. I just don't know enough about soccer or really care enough about soccer to play. But if the right
you invest in money in that, Dave, because you have no interest in soccer. I mean, you might as well just put it on the show and burn hundreds.
Well, I mean, I might as well just get a season of something I'm going to play. But that's the thing is I like trying new games and new things out because you never know. I might find a soccer game. It's like, oh, wow, this is fun, and maybe I should play this.
I mean, I love the sport. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I like classic soccer. The PC game is fantastic. They just stopped doing seasons for reasons I can't get into. But I think it's the best PC soccer game out there. Richard Hanna does it. The one he did previously, Headed Goal, fantastic. He just improved on it tenfold. But I like Anthony's board version too of classic soccer. But that's not a slow playing game.
Yep. Todd says Hoops is very straightforward too.
Mhm.
Cards and dice. Or PC. I have. Do I have the? Hang on 1 second here.
I have both.
I have Hoops PC. I really like it. It's very Strat basketball like. It really is. It reminds me a lot of Strat basketball.
When Mark developed Hoops, and he said this, he talks about he took parts of Strat that he liked and parts of Mickey's Fast Break, and he developed Hoops, and he done a sensational job. And his brother did the college version, which I have so many Final Four teams of college. It was great, but his brother didn't want to get involved enough to do it on the PC. But his game, his cards and dice game, it's excellent. I just moved on to Blank Shots college game. So as you know, if I'm going to play a college game, it's that or it's going to be history. Highly make a prime time.
Nice.
But Hoops is good, and both him and I think it's Bill that does the PC game for him are both wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I say that wholeheartedly. Fender's talking about History Maker Baseball. That's cool. That's Joe's sport. I haven't played a baseball game other than Payoff Pitch in a while. I don't know. I'm a retro baseball guy. I do like History Maker Baseball. I love Payoff Pitch. I love Season Ticket. Clay does a fantastic job too. So I just haven't been in a baseball mood because I don't watch it anymore either. Haven't watched baseball. Got to be 10 years now. 8 to 10 years.
I'm the same way with hockey. I just I can't. All the ads on the ice drive me nuts, especially in the minor leagues. The on the NHL, the boards with all the moving ads on the boards, it affects me. I get a headache watching that now, so I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch hockey anymore.
Killing me, boss. Killing me.
Just don't like it. I just don't like the product. You know what I mean? I mean, the product's good. I mean, the guys are fast in a whole bit, but it's just it's that. It's all the ads on the ice. It's the boards moving around. Just not my thing. I think there's way too many teams. Way too many teams. Everybody has one guy that maybe two, and then there's 27 other guys that I don't know. I just liked it back in the day when there was less teams and you could follow it along with 32 teams or 132 teams. I don't know how many they have now. You can't follow everybody. I can't.
I do. I
Yeah,
love
good.
it.
And
But
some
that's
people
the
do.
main sport. I don't
And
watch
and
much
and it-
else.
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
The talent
the
level.
advertisements on the jerseys don't bother me. Okay, because sometimes you see on the sleeve it'll have like the secondary team logo or something. If it's an ad, it doesn't bother me. I don't want them to look like NASCAR. But when you're out on the rink and there's just ads everywhere and you can't see the puck because of all the ads, it's like forget it. It's
Mm,
just the minor leagues are the worst. There are some rinks where just every 5 feet is an ad. It's like how can they even play with all that color on the ice? You want a white ice with a black puck.
yeah.
That's what hockey's about.
Oh,
And
you
now you're
want
taking this ice and you've smeared it with ads and now the puck goes over the ad and you have a hard time seeing it. It's just
to try keeping an eye on Nathan McKinnon. See how fast that blur is.
mm,
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. I think somebody mentioned Connor Bedard's injury. I think he separated his shoulder. Yeah, I hope not. He's an exciting young
Ryan.
kid.
It's not the players. It's the sideshow.
The production.
It's the ads on the ice. It's the ads on the boards that move around. It's the ads on the glass, that they superimpose. It's all the freaking ads everywhere. That I'll listen on the radio at night, and I still don't know anybody, but I'll go to bed at night, listen to the Sharks game or the Kings game, and listen on the radio like I was a kid. Very enjoyable. Like I said, I don't know anybody, but it's just fun to listen to hockey games. But as far as watching, I don't know if I've sat and watched a full hockey game since probably the 2011 Stanley Cup. I watched the
Wow.
entire game 7. After that, I just don't play it myself. I don't watch full movies anymore in one whack. I watch a little bit here. That Godzilla movie, it's an hour and a half movie. It took me 3-4 days to watch it. A little bit here, stop. A little bit here, stop. It just yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's just me. As the Red Jester comes by, good to see you, Mr. Red Jester. And AP, too many ads on the ice, especially the hockey leagues in Europe. Oh yeah, if you've ever seen some of
Oh,
those, it is gross. It
even
is
their
gross.
sweaters. The sweaters are so busy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But the ice themselves. I wonder if I can find a picture of one.
Fenner mentioned, remember when Fox was doing the color puck and then it would go in red when they
I
shot
didn't
it?
think that was so bad.
I couldn't take it. They were like, oh, you got to follow the puck. I played the game. I know how to follow a darn puck.
But okay, let me show you this right here. So I'm gonna share. All right. So I mean, look at that. I mean that.
That's European.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that's the
crazy.
stuff that I see. And it's like that's creeping into the NHL now. And it's like that. I have a hard time following the action because of all that. It's me. I mean, I get a little sick to my stomach actually, because all that stuff's on the ice and I'm trying to ignore that and follow the play, but it's still there. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And
That's insane. How do they follow the puck themselves?
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how do you follow that? And I'm looking at that. It's like I don't want to look at that. I get it. I get a headache. I don't know how else to say it. I do. I get a headache, and so that's one of the reasons I don't like to watch it. Um, yeah, the glow puck. I didn't mind that. I thought it was kind of neat because when it was against the board, you could see where the puck was. There was a little glow there. You could follow it, and then the shot when it changes color, I thought that was all right. But when it was somewhere you couldn't find it, I liked it. And AP's playing 4th Street hockey. That's another one I got to try. The 4th Street stuff looks good, but I heard it's a novel. It really is. So
There's our new friend Don. Cards and dice with Don.
and Fenner says he's with me on movies because it's tough to sit. Yeah. David, thanks for coming by. We'll be in touch, David, after the holidays, and be looking for that video tomorrow about the giveaways. Channel members, be looking for that tomorrow. Okay, so Blaine says his local junior hockey rink is covered in logos. I am lucky. The rink that I was at tonight is not bad. They got, I don't know if there's any ads on the ice. There's ads on the boards and there's banners around the the rink itself, but the ice itself is pretty clean. So I'm pretty lucky with that. I
There's
really
some
am.
roads ask if they're superimposed. I know some of them along the
Some of
boards
them are,
are,
yeah. The ones on the
but
glass are superimposed.
yeah, but the ones
Yeah.
on the ice are not because they're paying for that. And I can't imagine being a goalie and having that stuff in your way or shot along. Imagine a Bobby Orr shot. The thing used to go 2 inches off the ice and to
Well,
make.
that's why you need the white to see the puck. You get the
Mhm.
black puck on the white ice. That's
Yeah,
why. Why is the puck not white? Because you want to see it, right?
yeah,
And now they're making it hard to see it.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's our buddy Don coming by. I'm so out of the loop with MLB and NHL, but playing these games has helped me learn who is who again. Yeah, that's a good thing. Good way to put it, Don. Like I watched. Like I said, I'm not a baseball guy, but I was hard to not get sucked into some of the World Series last year. And Chris White sent me the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, I think it was, right? So I can play that in Appa right now. And I'm going to probably buy the World Series when Appa comes out, the World Series. I will buy the World Series. And, but yeah, it'd be kind of fun to go back and play those games. I thought about the same thing with 24, 25 hockey. So I could, play the, Florida and Toronto and Florida and Edmonton. I still might pick up that season at
Yeah, but
some point.
you mentioned it. It kind of loses that luster when you wait.
Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't ready like that night because I would have bought it that night. But then after a couple of months of waiting around, then it's like, yeah, do I really want to spend the money on it? Because I was all excited about it
Yeah,
that
you were
night.
chomping big time.
I was, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that now.
I'm not an NFL guy either. I see guys talking NFL. It's just
Yes, there's a
game
lot of
changed so much.
there's too much advertising. I'll give it that.
I'd rather play on the table anyway. The only
Yeah,
games I do love hockey. I absolutely love it. I watch as much as I can. But if I'm playing my game, it might be up on the screen, unless it's the
I'm the same
Canadians.
way too. Yeah, I just have it on the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's the Canadians, I'm locked in. Locked
What
in.
what the NBA does, some roads that's pretty good, is I like how they changed the courts. Like they get like the courts a full color instead of just like the parquet, a little bit of team color. They've really done a good job with the NBA, and the WNBA gets a little crazier with their courts, and I think they're kind of neat actually. That you can still see the lines, but there's all kinds of graphics on the court. I do like the
Really?
basketball courts. Yeah, I'm not a big basketball guy, and I don't really watch it or anything, but if it's on, it's kind of neat seeing the courts. It does. I really like how the courts
Because
have evolved.
college basketball don't do that. Not that I remember
I don't
seeing.
know. Some of the courts look really good.
Oh no, I could see that.
Yeah, and I'm on YouTube all day too, Fenner. It's like, I'll put on a game. The only thing though, I will say, maybe it's just I don't know, is if I put on YouTube and I start watching a game, like the other day there was the I don't know, it was like 81 or 84 Jets and Dolphins playoff game or something like that. It's fun to watch for 10, 15 minutes. And then it's hard to watch because you've already seen it and you know who wins, you know everything about it. So it's hard to watch it all over again. And even the games I didn't know who actually won and I just was watching them, it was kind of tough just watching a full game. I always thought I would. And even with hockey, like there's full hockey games on there, I won't watch a full hockey game that's on YouTube. I'll just watch a few minutes and ooh and ah. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm kind of done. I've done my ooh and an ah. And
See, if it's a game, if I don't remember the results, I could watch it. Definitely.
And let me see. Chris was talking about some of the sports that he watches there. And Barbara says baseball is supposed to be shorter. It's a little shorter, but the tough, like I tried to watch baseball in the playoffs, I can watch, but like regular season, I'm so used to playing these games here where you roll the dice and you get the result like right away. It's like I'm watching a guy like foul off 5 pitches in a row, and I'm like, I need the result. I need this to happen. I can't be sitting here all day.
Just like your dice keep falling off the table.
Yeah, I know. And Blaine says what ruined me more than anything in these special courts in the NBA. Oh, you don't like them? I kind of like them. I kind of like the crazy courts. I do.
Everybody's different.
Yep. Well, Fenner, here's the thing about the NFL. This is my take on the NFL. I think it's starting to lose its luster a little bit. I think the NFL used to be king. I think it still is king, but I don't think they're quite as high up on the mountain as they used to be. And why that is because people are just getting hurt. And was it a couple of years ago, 17 or 18 teams lost their starting quarterback? He was just out hurt. And some teams were on their third or fourth quarterback. Now, how do you sell tickets and how do you get people to watch Cincinnati Bengals with their fourth-string quarterback or third-string quarterback or a guy off the practice squad? I mean, the quarterbacks are just getting hurt one after another, after another, after another. And just what was that team was it the playoffs or the Super Bowl? They had a wide receiver playing quarterback because everyone was hurt. I think it was San Francisco.
49ers.
Yeah. And it's just that's what's happening. So to a point where they've had to change the kickoff, which I mean, I guess I'm getting used to it a little bit, but now they're trying the dirty kick, it's called. They got the dirty kick, which is supposed to scuttle around.
Read about that. What is it?
It's something the kickers are trying to do to avoid having the touchback come out too far. If they do it a certain way, that it comes out to the 20. And so they're working around the kickoffs now. It's just that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to find a way around. The old kickoffs are great. They were exciting, but people are getting hurt. The problem is in football, these guys are beasts. They're big, and they're getting hurt.
Bigger and faster than ever.
Yeah, and it's just that's what's killing the game with football. And it's sad because I like football. I like to watch it. Again, I don't know everybody, but I'll sit on Sunday and watch a little bit of football and watch the whip around the league and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed it, but it's a very different game now. And it's the other thing is it's all wide open. It's like everyone's going for it on fourth down. You got a 4th and 5. You're not punting. You're going for it.
Yep.
And it's all these dink and dunk short passes. So instead of handing off, instead of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, it's a 3-yard pass and a tackle. You're still getting the 3 yards, but it's all passing instead of running. Yep. So it's a very different game. And
I just watched an interview. Well, it became the Mel Blount rule because you couldn't get off the line of scrimmage when he was playing, and they didn't like it.
Yep.
So they opened it up to where you could only get the one chuck inside 5 yards.
I'm glad they did that because that was kind of stupid that you just grab a receiver and not let him go. It's like, yeah, that was dumb.
Well, you couldn't hold him, but you could hit him. Get off the line of scrimmage. That's what we were taught as kids.
I'm okay with that. I like that they've opened that up. And the other thing now is that these kickers hitting 68-yard field goals. I mean, nowadays you just got to get to midfield and you're in field goal range. And that's the other thing that kind of stinks is before, you'd watch a game and the team's coming down. Oh, you got 30 seconds to go. And they're at midfield. They still need 20 yards for a field goal. Now, at midfield, they're almost in field goal range. And it's just, man, these kickers are just nailing this ball. I mean, good for them, but it's like the basketball three-pointer. People are hitting from half court with regularity. And it's just, the three-point used to be special. And now that's the main game. It's just all three-pointers. And so the one game I watched last year, I was watching a playoff game, and it was just everything was a three-point shot.
Yes.
And the numbers work out that way. So it says the numbers. It's kind of like, in hockey, if you said, if we can get 100 shots on net, that's going to be better than taking 30 quality shots. Is 100. And just whatever you get it, the guy with the puck just shoots it at the net. Hockey would suck.
Yeah.
If no one drove to the net. If someone just, they get the puck at their own blue line, they just shot it on the net, and the other guys did the same thing, or just taking long shot after long shot, hockey would be boring as hell.
Yep. I see some roads just told that's what's great about our cards and dice. And yeah, because you could do anything you want with them too. You don't have to stick by the rules of the sport. Do what's fun for you. I mean, I do stick by the rules of the sport and the games I play, but you don't have to. It's your world. It's your gaming. And you know what? They don't go on strike. They don't complain about being injured. They don't complain to you about not getting playing time or getting the ball to them or none of it. The only complaint is my wife might say I'm playing too much. But she don't. But no, it's your table. It's your cards and dice. I always rather be doing that because the sports today has changed a lot. It's changed a lot.
Well, yeah, I think everything's about money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah.
And the gambling is out of control. Out of control.
Yeah. Dave 09 says stop the gambling references.
Boom.
Yeah, it was what was the was it the hockey player that was suspended for gambling, and there's a picture of him in one of the articles with like a FanDuel on his hockey jersey. So you want to promote all this gambling and then suspend the guy in the league for gambling.
Right.
It is really kind of hypocritical. And I know that you sign contracts and there's certain things you can't do, but jeepers, you're going to promote this and it's going to be one of your biggest sponsors. Gambling, and then someone does it in the league and you suspend them. It just looks really hypocritical that you're going to promote something that they can't do.
And you want to throw that at 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Who have a boatload of money, nothing to do with it.
Yep.
So what do? They're on the road most of the time. So I'd rather them gambling than out there partying.
Yeah, I think 17 games are too much too. The 16 was fine. I really do.
They play 17 now?
Yep.
The NFL?
Yeah. Bob says the refs are ruining the NFL. Well, the thing is, Bob, is they've always
you don't want to go.
Well, the thing is, they've always ruined it. You know, they're sometimes they make good calls, sometimes they don't. I mean, like I'll watch, you know, on any given Sunday, I'll sit down and be having, you know, if I'm not working and I'm home watching football, I'll be watching football. And, you know, lately, you know, my team has not been winning, so I don't have any dog in the fight. And let's just say Dallas plays Philadelphia. Right? First quarter, all my Philadelphia friends on Facebook, the refs have it out for us, right? Then in the second quarter, all my Dallas friends, the refs have it out for the Cowboys. It's like, guys, the refs can't have it out for both of you. They have it out for one or the other, but they can't have it out for both of you. You know, so you can't sit there. Philadelphia fans can't cry and Dallas fans can't cry. It all comes out in the wash. They make bad calls both ways. They really do. It just sucks when the calls are made at a critical time. That's when it looks really bad. So you can call all the penalties you want all game long, but in that fourth quarter, you call one on the other team, and that one is so huge at that point, you forget about the other 15 or 20 penalties that were called on the other team.
I think the league higher-ups have a lot to do with the refs going on the field. I'll leave it at that. I've seen way too many. Like they're not missed calls. They whatever. What was so much money involved in it now?
Somebody had a video on YouTube I watched the other day, and it was I forget what game it was, but a team was up by 10 with like 19 seconds left, and the guy caught the ball, and he tried to get up, and the other guy held him down for a second. And again, there's like it might have been 9 seconds left at this point, no timeouts, and they threw a flag on the team of the guy that wouldn't let him up with 9 seconds left in a 2-score game. And they moved it up 15 yards, and the team kicked the field goal to cut it to 7 points. And now there's like 2 seconds left. And it was just, you know, I know you need the field goal and the touchdown, but the way it all happened, people saying
impacted a lot of the bets.
It was a 7.5 point line, and they were winning by 10 until that flag come out, and then for some reason, instead of going for the Hail Mary, the touchdown, they kicked the field goal. Why would you be kicking? I mean, I know that was really questionable.
Yeah, too many.
So, as far as the refs, they make bad calls all day long against both teams. I saw it tonight in the junior game. I did bad call on this team, bad call on that team, but you never remember the bad calls against the other team, only the ones on your team.
Yeah, that's human nature. I've seen a video of an NFL ref. They spotted the ball. He literally walked over to the ball and moved it forward. Okay, the video's out there.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it. Why? Why isn't there? Where's the complaint? How is that guy still allowed to ref? Because he's being protected by the league.
Yeah.
NFL's fixed. Okay, there I said it. It's rigged. Just you got to bet the right way. And
Blaine says, I think they should narrow the goalpost. Yeah, I mean that might be something too, is to tighten them up a little bit to make it a little tougher to hit. But you know, it's just you got these athletes now that are just so good. They're just hitting these field goals from all over, just like the basketball. Do they shrink the basketball nets in basketball because they're hitting too many 3-pointers? I mean, you know, what do you do? So
I seen another clip of I forget who it was they were talking to, and he's saying it's easier to kick. Yes, they're bigger and stronger, these kids, but it used to be where the game would start, the refs would put the ball in play. The balls were already out there. The refs would rub it up. Now those balls are in-house. They're constantly in house. So they're able to do whatever it is they need to do to maximize the distance out of those footballs. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember who it was that was talking about. Now, I just heard a kid hit a 68 yarder.
Yeah.
He broke the record, then he broke it again.
68 yards. Somebody. I think was it
Who's
Detroit?
going
It was a guy
I
from
thought it was
Detroit.
Jacksonville.
Might have been.
Who's
Well,
going
yeah.
to stop this kid from hitting a 70 yarder, 71
Yeah.
yarder?
Yeah. They thought the furthest you could go was like 66, 67. They said that's as far as you can go. And these guys are putting him through. And keep in mind, they're kicking him 67, 68 yards, and they're still 10 feet in the air. So it's not where it's landing. It's still going to carry over the bar, you know?
Yeah. Ryan
Um,
makes a great point, and I agree with him.
no, Ray says no one complains about practice. No, it's a game, but practice not said, but my cards and dice, Alan. I don't know. What's going on? Can you make any sense out of that one, Vin?
No, I think Ray had a couple of eggnogs. It's early in
I think
Christmas
so.
season.
Must be
They
one
were
of
supposed to come over tomorrow, but now with the snow,
a
they're not
Philly
going to
special.
take a chance. But Ryan brought out about the lesser sports, CFL, the National Lacrosse League, is it? National Lacrosse? He just got me into it. I was going to check it out because I got lacrosse blast. I want to learn it. But he's right. The lesser sports is more fun to watch. Today I watched the quarterfinal game of the FCS division college football. I watched another one, a championship game of a lower division game. It was a great game. Great game.
Dave, I remember cigarette ads when doctors were in doctors' offices. How many again? I still have some old magazines, right? I have some old magazines kicking around, hockey ones, and I got some. You know, maybe it's the Hockey News. Maybe it was Ron gave me a subscription to the Hockey News, and he's been renewing it for me, right? And with that subscription, I get access to every single Hockey News that was ever done online. It is amazing. It is so great to go back and read any hockey news. And I don't know if it's in that or if it's just some of the magazines I have here. And they got doctors in the office treating patients with cigarettes in a hand in the ads. You know what I mean? It's like, Paul Mall is the choice for me. These
My
are
old
doctors.
my old family physician used to have a cigar all the time. Dr.
Yeah.
Greenberg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And they could be signing NDAs, but I don't know. Is this the one you were talking about with Ryan?
Yeah. And
The
he
lesser
makes
money
sense.
sports where people play for the love of it, more enjoyable to watch. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's and if you think about it, like I remember talking to Ron about this too. It's so hard to bet on football because you got a 3.5 point spread and the game's decided by either 3 or 4 points. It is that close. Every single game. They know everything about everybody, and somehow whoever makes these lines, they get it pretty close. Not every game, obviously, but if it's a 7.5 point line, you can bet your
Oh,
dog
they
diddly
know what
do
they're
that
doing.
it's going to be pretty close to 7 points. So you can't look at a game and say, "Oh man, this team's going to destroy this team," because even a team you give them 10 points in a spread, and somehow they keep it, within 9. So they lose the game by 9. The 10 covers. It's like, oof,
The powers that be step up if it's getting out of hand.
it is so hard to pick a winner because it's just it's a 50-50 coin flip. It really is. It just no matter how good you think you know it, you still just can't figure it out. You just can't.
Well, they're not in business till you're making money, that's for sure.
Yep.
You know what they're doing. I'm not ready for the snow either, Summers. It's coming now, I think. I just looked at my phone. And my wife's pig-headed about going to church no matter what. I don't want to drive in with my daughter tomorrow if the roads are like that because the neighborhood's gotten out of control with the driving anyway. Dave had an incident today,
Oh my gosh.
and we
Okay.
deal with that. So, no, I don't want it.
Yeah. Christopher says he's thinking about getting the hockey news just for that reason. They archive back to episode 1. It's episode 1. And it's really good because I like to go back and read the season previews. It's like, oh, this year we expect the California Seals to do real good because they just had this guy and this guy, and they were terrible.
So it's an online subscription?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
get
I got
I
it.
get the magazine in the mail,
Okay.
right, every month or every week, whatever it is, and I flip through it and I throw it away because I don't follow modern hockey. I just don't. So if something in there catches my eye, maybe, but for the most part, I go online on the computer on my iPad and I just read the old stuff. And
So you
I
throw the actual magazine. Are you trying to kill me? Like, is it?
I don't know anybody. I don't care. I just don't care.
Don't care. I
I don't
don't
care. Seriously,
care.
I just don't. I don't care. I like the history of the game, and that's what I go and I'll go back and I'll sit there and just read the old hockey newses and read about the Canada Cups and all the stuff they talk about. It just it's fun reliving those old days and like the season previews are fun. One guy was talking about Vancouver Buffalo when they joined the league in was it 70-71, right? That Buffalo Vancouver joined. And Buffalo picked Gilbert Perreault. And Vancouver picked, I forget who Vancouver picked. And this guy actually said in the magazine, he says, Vancouver was the smart team picking this
Did they
guy
take
over Gilbert Perreault.
Chris Olofsson?
It might have been Olsen. It might have been somebody in the chat room might find that. Who did Vancouver select overall in their initial draft when Buffalo got Gilbert Perreault? But anyway, this guy says he goes, Vancouver got the better of the two guys in the draft. He goes,
Good
Buffalo
call.
got Perreault, but this other guy's gonna be so much better for Vancouver. It's funny reading that now because it's like saying someone going back and saying, "Oh, I can't believe they put this Brady guy in that the Patriots are screwed." Yeah, it's so cool reading that stuff. It
I just
really
want to
is.
answer. No, Fenner, we don't use snow tires. I have a different philosophy. I have like God brings the snow and then God will take it away. So I'll go out when He takes it away. I stay in. But no, all kidding
Yeah,
aside, we don't need snow tires. If
yeah,
it's that bad, we're not going out
yeah.
in it.
Fred and Barney smoked they had cigarette ads for them. Yep, they really did. There's cigarette ads in baseball stadiums.
I'm
And
gonna
Ice
look this
T's getting
up.
there's more snow this year. I know Barbara's got snow. And we've had the cold here. And I was talking to somebody at the rink tonight, and it's like, why does it feel so cold compared to normal? Like, because the cold come in quicker this year, and it's been colder sooner. It's been our coldest December in 25 years. Yeah, you could. You could for the next throwback game, you go to the hockey news. I do. I've gone through their stuff
Oh
and
my goodness,
and
it
find
was
some things.
Dale Talon. It was.
Dale Talon.
He was supposed to be the next Bobby Orr.
Oh man,
And meanwhile, the Bruins drafted, get this, Reggie Leach, and then the next pick they took Rick McLeish, and they both end up in Philadelphia.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh, Oldlifson was taken by the Seals at 10. Okay. That wasn't a bad draft.
oh
Darryl
boy.
Sittler was in it.
Bob's got the snow in Pennsylvania right now. It's supposed to go for 3 days, Bob. 2 or 3 days, right?
Barbara, keep your coffee brewing and roll them dice, kid.
So Bob's gonna shovel the steps so the dog can get out before they go to bed tonight. Yeah. Uh, it's only supposed to be 3 inches.
Lies. She's
Oh.
going lies. Oh, man. I was just talking about her the other day, like, because she's up there shoveling by herself. And I was telling a friend of mine it came over. I forget who it was. But yeah, it's like she does it all her own.
Mm. Luckily, she got the water heater squared away. That was good.
She did.
Simple fix. Holy cow!
Same guy came and fixed it?
No, somebody else showed up, and I guess when he tightened it, some insulation got in the thing, and it
The
didn't have
threads?
it didn't have a good seal. So they undid it, stuffed the insulation in, screwed it back, and it was fine. It was
Awesome.
like that
Okay.
simple of a fix.
Good.
Something to that effect. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, Finna, too. Yeah. The snow's one thing, but the rain, when you get the rivers in the street, yeah.
That's
I
dangerous.
can't imagine. I can't imagine that. Oh my gosh. I see those. I cry when I see the videos of the water going down the street and just carrying houses away. Oh man. And it's supposed to be 3 to 6 in Cambria County. More like 8 to 10. Let's hope not, guys. Oh yeah, they'll be dying of heart attacks.
God forbid, don't say that.
We have to make sure you play some shootout hockey here. Dufferman says so much rain everywhere. Everywhere's flooded. Driving around's a challenge. I'm that way in my neighborhood. I have I'm on the end of a circle and we try to go up the straightaway to get back to the main road, and sometimes that's flooded. It's like you just gotta wait. Just gotta wait.
I haven't had any of this bad weather. I mean, we're getting something now, but I'm downstairs, so I can't look. But yeah, it's we're gonna get snow. But hey, it's winter. It's been
20
freezing.
in Texas. 20 in Texas, huh?
Oh, it can get
Mm.
cold there.
Yep. And yeah, she got lucky on that fix there. That's all it was, you know. Richard says low of 31 where he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets some cold
Yeah.
temps.
Yeah. We had, yeah. So, yeah, coming home last night, I was coming home about 11 o'clock and coming up the highway, and I come around the turn and I see like all these lights, and I see police and fire and ambulance. I go, oh boy, it must have been an accident, right? And I slowed down because I was like the only guy really going northbound. I look in the southbound side. I was like, oh boy, that looked pretty bad. And then there were like 9 police cars in the highway. I'm like, okay, why do we need 9 police cars in the highway? So I go up a little further, and every exit there was a cop car, so he wasn't letting anybody on the highway. And, and I get up closer to my house, and they were in the middle of the highway there, directing people off the highway southbound. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I get home and didn't think nothing of it. And I get in bed and I'm just laying there looking at my phone, and on Facebook it was like they said major crash on the highway an hour ago. So I had just missed it. It just happened, and there was a wrong way driver going the wrong way in the highway, and he ended up hitting another car and killed the passenger of the other car. And it hasn't said yet if it was young, old, impaired or not. It didn't say, because sometimes people just get disorientated and they go the wrong way. I don't know. I think if I'm going on the highway and I see the median on my right, I'm thinking something's wrong here. You know, if I see cars coming at me, that shouldn't be coming at me. But I guess anything can happen. It
I
really
obviously
can.
don't have the stomach for that stuff.
And it just sucks. It sucks, even
Tell me
hearing about
about it.
that.
People
I,
not paying attention.
I just
Listen,
but so going to work, I travel that road every day. So going to work this morning, I'm looking at all these on ramps. I'm like, how could someone get on the southbound lane and go north? Because all of our exits is a big long curl, and it shoots you out in the direction right that you're supposed to go. So if you want to go north, you got to like go all the way around and then take this wicked turn and go the other way. I mean, it's not easy. It's not natural.
when my
And
daughter got hurt, there was no reason for that to be happening.
oh my gosh.
So I just, let's talk about something
Yeah,
else.
there are horrible
It is
drivers.
a
Yeah,
chat, so everything goes. But when you were
yeah,
telling me that,
yeah.
my stomach turned.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh no,
Yeah,
you posted it,
yeah, I posted that this
and
morning.
I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my god, because I
yeah,
know it's going on here constantly.
yeah. All right, let's get back to the wrestling. We never did finish out Mount Rushmore of wrestling, right? I think we all can agree Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan, right?
I
I think
think so.
I got Hogan on there. After that, it's kind of like any other sport. You can talk about Brady, you can talk about Manning, you can talk about anybody modern, but then someone will say, "What about Otto Graham?"
Yeah, no, it's
you know,
different.
and so like the same with wrestling. You got these guys in the '60s and the '70s that made a big impact, and maybe they were the ones that put wrestling on the map back in the day. And it's somebody that I've never seen wrestle, and that maybe I've heard of, maybe I haven't. So it's hard to compare Cena, who I've heard of. I know he's a good guy and done a lot of good things. I don't know if I'd put him on the Mount
No,
Rushmore of wrestling,
no.
but I mean, someone that's 80 years old might have never heard of him. Whereas he's talking about, this guy back in the day was the most unbelievable guy that, without him means, Sergeant Slaughter, maybe he did some things that everybody built the bridge of wrestling out to this point here,
Even nobody did what Hulk Hogan did.
Yeah, I
Nobody.
think you'd be correct. Yeah. And Blaine says Hogan, Flair, Austin, and Taker. I don't know about Austin. I liked Austin. I really did. I don't know if he wrestled long enough to make that to make the mountain.
I don't
Undertaker
think
went a
he was.
long time,
I
and
don't think he was part of a carryover like Bruno Sammartino was.
yes, so Undertaker. It's another one for the Undertaker. A
And
couple
then, like
people.
some road says, how do you not put the Vince McMahon on?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
A couple people said Andre, but again, Andre, he was in the 70s. He did a lot of. He was around the world doing his thing there. But I mean,
Yeah,
does he go on the mount as famous as he was and as big as he was? Does he go on the mount?
I think he
I think you'd
just
be right with McMahon, but I'm thinking actual wrestlers, and I know he
yeah.
did wrestle, but I mean, yeah, he would get on his own mount for what he did with the sport. Wherever he is now, or whatever happened he is now, you can't take away that I watched him start with just interviewing people with a microphone in the 70s to taking over the whole thing and making it what it is, which is ridiculously huge right now. And again, whatever's going on now, I haven't followed it, so I don't know. But he took wrestling from local gyms and small arenas and made WrestleMania.
I mean, if you say Flair, then you got to say Dusty Rhodes too. I mean,
Flair,
they went hand in hand.
the thing about Flair, he just went a long time.
Yeah, he's still
So
going, isn't he?
I think he's still going. Yeah. So that's kind of the deal with Flair. It's more like longevity. He just kept going and going and going. Now, did he ever, you know, how high did he ascend in this ladder? I mean, I know he's been there a long time. He's come
Oh
and
no,
going, but I
in the
mean,
wrestling world, there he won. He was champion in many of his the federations, the territories. He carried the territories. He is. I got to tell you, if he's not, well, then one of them breaks off of the Mount Rushmore. He's got to get on there. He's that close. But Dusty Rhodes did everything with him. They like almost made each
yeah,
other.
yeah. Um,
But
uh,
Flair was.
Red Jester likes Sting and Lex Luger. Yeah.
I love Sting. I love
Sean
Sting.
likes the Macho Man. And Blaine says, I say Austin because he was the top star in the biggest era in the history of wrestling. Is wrestling bigger now than it was with Austin? Because I watched the Austin days. I loved Austin. I know he was hurt a lot with his back and his knees, so he couldn't do as much wrestling, which kind of puts him in the Cam Neely and Eric Lindros category, where someone like at the top of their game, but just didn't have a long career because of injuries. So I would have to say Taker, and I say Taker just because of the character that was created. The Undertaker character was so good. It really was.
I agree.
And he played that part good. And then he was American Badass. I didn't watch any of that stuff there, but just the whole intro, the Undertaker, when you heard that little gong and all the lights went out and the fire come up, that was I would say probably the best wrestling intro for a wrestler was the Undertaker. And when he had WrestleMania and he had all the druids out holding the torches and he walked through the fire, there was nothing better than that. I've watched that intro so many times on YouTube just because it gives me chills watching it. That Undertaker character, I think, was just so good.
And I think he's so far above what Steve Austin was. And wrestling was as bigger or as big in Austin's days as it was in Hogan's days. I don't know, but it'd be hard to imagine that. I don't think, today's not as big as it was with Hulk Hogan's day.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that.
I can't imagine it being close to when it was Hogan's was like that was the era. And I think so, but guys like Dave no more.
I tuned out in the early 2000s. I just didn't really follow it after that. And some roads, I watched it too. The Bob Backlund, I couldn't stand Bob Backlund. I thought he was just one of the worst champs ever. I couldn't stand Backlund. But the Step and Tap episode, I remember that. I remember when he was doing the stomach thing, Couple other ones here. Noel Fan comes by. George Deano, just at a comedy. Yeah, he's another one that was kind of a flash in the pan. The stories were better back then. Possibly. I went to many matches too. Not in Baltimore, but I went to the Boston Garden and the Worcester Centrum up here. The $1 Million Man, he won't make it. He was interesting, but
I
yeah.
couldn't stand him.
Yeah, Backlund was the last regular-looking champion before all the big muscle guy. I couldn't see it. Backlund was like the champion when I grew up watching wrestling, and no one could ever beat him. It's just like, oh, come on. And he was so boring. He looked like a teacher, one of my teachers that I couldn't stand.
Oh, that's not good.
that didn't help it. So
No.
every time I went into this guy's class, I says, "Is he got a towel around his neck that he's going to take and throw into the crowd?" Because that's what Backlund used to do. It's like, oh man, I always called the guy Backlund because I never knew his name, so I couldn't stand. And Backlund never lost. He won the championship, but it's like he's so stupid. He doesn't have a move. He's got no personality, and no one could beat him.
I still don't know why they. I don't know why they made him the champ. I don't know. That was weird. That was weird. But he took it from.
Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware. Yeah.
I think he ended up. No. Stan Hansen had taken it from Pedro Morales. And then I think Backlund took it from Stan Hansen. Don't quote me. My brain is old.
You know something? I watched the video a couple of months ago on YouTube, and you guys go search it. It's pretty neat. And it was a timeline of all the WWF and WWE champions, and it started way back, as far back as I can remember. And it would show the picture who had it and how long they held it. And Backlund was like, 380 days or something like that. He was the champion for like 3 years. It was just like, come on, maybe I forget what it was. It was 780 days.
I remember he held it a long, long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. And then it said how he lost it and where he lost. So it was a pretty good video. And it just would fade to one to another and say, one guy had it for like 24 hours. He won it on a Sunday night. He lost it on Monday night. Poor bastard only had it for a night. But it just went through the whole gamut of who had it and who lost it. And then there was no champion for a while. And then someone won it. And it was just like, this guy got it. And then he had it for 2 weeks. And this guy won it back. And he'd have it for 3 months. And this guy won it. And there was some guys I'd never heard of. Even like throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when I watched it, I didn't realize they were champions. Like, first of all, I don't know you. And second of all, I didn't know you were a champion. But it was a pretty neat thing. Then they did the Intercontinental Champion. And then they had the tag team. But it was a pretty neat video. It was like a half hour long. And it just kind of showed,
Where'd you see this, on YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah, it was a YouTube video, and it talked about all the WW champs, EF, whatever, and it said where they won it and how many days they had it. It was done really well, And Red Jester, yeah, Undertaker and Mankind matches, they were so good,
Anything with Mankind, but
yeah,
he was unbelievable.
Yeah, superstar Billy Graham, didn't really care for him, Yeah, Backlund was always there. Yeah, the Iron Sheik. Yeah, he was okay. Stan Hansen. Vinny was talking about Stan Hansen. Yeah, my teacher looked like Backlund. Backlund beat Billy Graham. Yeah, that's when. Yeah. And Vince put the belt on Backlund because he wanted a reliable champion that was going to show up every time, like Bruno. Okay, that makes sense. And Rob says not much hockey joy in Vancouver these days. Yeah, I heard Vancouver and Buffalo stink again, right? Is that
they
what
just
I hear?
traded Quinn Hughes, but they weren't. He wasn't going to re-sign anyway.
Yeah.
But they just traded him, and he's going to end up signing. He's not going to re-sign anyway. He's going to end up going to New Jersey to play with his brothers.
And excuse me, Bruno Sammartino, the Backlund as the champion, is very underwhelming for you. Yeah. I guess it was. Yep. Yeah. And
Imagine in my house,
the Ultimate
Italian.
But yeah, Hulkamania is the one that brought the WWF from the Carnington Multimedia. It has to be Hogan. It has to be. And I'm trying to think though who else I would put on there. I would go Taker. And now again, there's been a ton of people in the last 25 years that I just never watched and don't know. So it's kind of hard for me to be fair to those guys like the Cenas and I don't even know some of these other guys. I forget their names now.
Do you go back like, with Lou Thez and those guys? And yeah, it wasn't all colorful and the same, but those are guys that, they kind of paved the way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, Lou Albano, I mean, he was a manager and, he brought a lot of faces to wrestling.
Yeah, no, he was great.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't even think of this guy here.
Yeah,
Triple H, Red Jester. Yeah, Triple H. Yep.
And he's still going, right? Isn't he something to do with wrestling now?
Yeah, he's behind the scenes working with them. Yeah, I enjoyed Triple H.
Grand Wizard, classic Freddie Class. Yeah. Remember, he used to file his teeth.
All the managers, yeah.
You guys are gonna make me break out ST's the squared circle now.
Yeah,
that's not good.
That's one of the prizes that you could win. Yep.
It's a
Yeah.
fantastic wrestling game.
I told him I want him to show me how to play it. So I need to do that. Triple H runs a show, said Blaine. Yeah,
Oh, it
okay.
does.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Shawn Michaels is still running something too. He does like
Really?
a minor league wrestling thing. Yeah, I think he does that. Yeah. That was the heyday for me. Like 98 to 2000 was my wrestling big. I mean, when I was an adult, you know.
Fana mentions the UFC. So, yeah, I don't like it. People
I don't-
love it. I don't like it. The thing that sold me wrestling, because they weren't really pummeling you. I'm not into watching two guys knocking the living daylights out of each other.
I don't.
I'm
I don't
not,
yeah,
you know,
not a fan of that.
unless it was Bob Provit and Tom, and what's his face on the Blues there? Kelly James.
Yeah,
They can knock each other out for a while, but no, I don't like that, the UFC stuff. And what is it now?
the developmental league.
MMA,
Oh yeah,
not my thing.
I'm not a big fan of that either.
No,
That's
I
how
don't like
bad
it.
Vern Gagne was. Had the chance to
Oh,
put
that's the other guy. Good.
the belt on Hogan, but would not let Bockwinkel drop the title. Hogan left.
Bockwinkel's another. Chris is the man. Good.
Yeah, Chris is all over the place. Yeah, and so Hogan left for the WWF, and the rest is history. Yeah, yeah, fun stuff. Yeah,
Wow,
good
Chris,
times.
I didn't know you were a wrestling guru. Very impressive. I like that. Nice.
Oh, here's
Chief
another one.
J.
Yeah, Chief J. And here's a trivia question. Without looking it up, what was his brother's name in wrestling? What was his
You know,
brother's name?
this is my memories tell. We discussed this one time. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
because I watched them wrestle, so I know who his wrestling brother was. So it was Jules, Chief J, and Jules Strongbow.
Jules. That don't sound like an Indian name. Sounds like he belonged on Rodeo
Well,
Drive.
Chief J was Italian. He wasn't even an Indian
Yeah, but he
himself.
looked Indian. He had the
Yeah,
whole get up going. But no. Yeah, none of them are who
yeah,
they really are, except for the Hulk.
yeah. I will. I plan on, like I said, I'm going to be doing a video, and I just think I've been working so much, I haven't had a chance. So I need to do my Christmas video, and then I have a video I'm going to address the channel members, and I'm going to address uh the Patreon separately, and tell them what's going to go on the channel. And we got a fun 2026 coming up. And yes, we're going to get a lot more games on here. I talked about getting the developers on. And speaking of one of those right here, Mr. ST comes by. Yes, and I'm going to have him show me his wrestling game. So I want to do that. And again, that's one of the prizes. And just got to the Mount Rushmore impression. Popularity is much different than talent. And yeah, we talked about that, because there's some people who are really good at it, and there were some people that just brought a lot of eyeballs to the screen. So I think we're all in agreement that Hulk Hogan has to be at the top of that list. He brought a lot of eyeballs. He brought a lot of people into the wrestling world, and he did it for a long time. And he was charismatic, and just everything about him. Just everybody knew Hulk Hogan,
Yep.
like him or not, and so he has to be on there. And there were a lot of other good names brought up: Undertaker, Rock, Steve Austin back in the day, guys like that. Ric Flair was brought up. Cena for the newer guys.
The Rock, yeah, he did a lot too, but
Yep.
I don't know. To me, number one guy is Hogan because he did everything.
So here's the wrestling master says San Martino, Hogan, Austin, and probably the NWO. I still see more NWA shorts than anything today. But they compare in comparison to Jim London in the black and white era. Well, that's the thing. It's like, how far do you go back? And some of these black and white era people, they were some of the people that carried the water to get it to this point. And without those people, you might not get to this point.
Right.
But it's hard to say. It's like, every sport has that. Hockey, baseball, basketball, football. They all had the guys that didn't make a lot of money that kept it going to a point that it could come to the next level. And then somebody would come along and get to the next level. But it's almost like you can make the argument about, like the Beatles. Without the Beatles, would there be, this band here? And without the Beatles, would there be this band? Without the Beatles, would be this band. Someone had to kind of start the foundation of it, and everybody kind of piled onto that. Yeah, Ivis Puchki, the Polish Hammer. There's a ton of guys you could talk about. Jim Cornette, the podcast. He talks about wrestling history.
That would be interesting. I listened to a few audio books, and they were really entertaining. One was about, I think it's the 100 greatest matches and everything that went into it, and then there was another one. I think it was the fall of the NWA. Oh, I forget. Like I said, my brains are like scrambled eggs, but they were good listens, and I enjoy listening to the
Yeah.
history of those things. And
Yeah, Buddy Rogers. I remember he was the manager of Snooker. I don't remember him wrestling, but I do remember him managing Jimmy Snooker. So, um,
while he was wrestling, we weren't even born at first, and then we were still babies.
Sean, speaking of Mike Sharp, remember when I was talking about how I was working for Killer Kowalski back
Hmm.
earlier in the show? I think why we're talking about that tonight, right? I was doing the
Hmm.
Killer Kowalski, and I was doing the camera and the directing there. I Mike Sharp was at one of our events one night, and I was on the camera that night, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he somebody hit him in the head with one of those aluminum chairs and caught him the wrong way, and Sharp was pissed that the guy hit him like that, and he never came back and worked with us again.
Wow.
But he was in one of the jobs that I did. Yep, Iron Mike Shop. Yep,
Hmm.
the Ultimate Jobber. Oh yeah, SD
S.D.
Jones.
Jones,
SD Jones, Special Delivery Jones.
Baron
Yep.
Von.
he would wrestle the first match in Baltimore every time. Yeah, yeah. In the mid '70s. Yep, yep. Super Dave Osborne. No, he's not a real wrestler, is he? No. A Piper fan and the Macho Man, and the Hogan fan. Rashiki. Yep. Johnny Rods is always on the card. Yeah, Johnny Rods. Yeah. Um, I wonder what was it? What Roddy? I wonder about Roddy Piper. He was a big name,
Oh yeah.
and he did more like off wrestling when he had Piper's Pit that he did in but
In my opinion, he was the one that kicked off all the nonsense they have now. Now it's more of a show than
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah,
It's you're
yeah,
not going to get those long matches they used to have.
yeah.
But Roddy Piper,
The Brain
he
Claw,
did all that when he had Piper's Corner, was it, or Piper's Pit?
Piper's Pit. Yeah,
Piper's Pit. Yeah, he was really, really good with the
yeah,
mic.
yeah. He was. The weird thing about Mount Rushmore for pro wrestling is that some of our most popular wrestlers have been dreadful in the ring, so it's a tough call. Well, again, it's a popularity contest. It really is. It's kind of like when you're voting for the MLB All Star Game. They say you wouldn't believe how many votes that players get that don't even play anymore. So people vote for a name that they've heard without knowing that they've already retired, or they're hurt, they're not playing.
And are we comparing it to a real Mount Rushmore? Because our Mount Rushmore, while they were great in ways, they weren't the greatest ever of our country's existed. I mean, of course, it's been many, many years since then. Like Teddy Roosevelt, okay, he belongs up there. Um, my point is, are we looking for Mount Rushmore of popularity or impact on the sport? Because it's definitely different, kind of like what ST was saying. For impact, again, Hulk Hogan goes on the top, but Bruno Sammartino impacted a lot of people in the 60s and even into the 70s.
Yeah,
And then they carried the torch from there. So
I think
I don't know. It's a good
with
question.
wrestling, there are so many people and so many characters that paved the road along the way. Might be the best way to put that. And everyone we're listing here is a part of it, but at the same time, we could probably take out, maybe with the exception of Hogan, we could probably take out any one of those names we talked about tonight, and wrestling wouldn't miss a beat. If we didn't have the Iron Sheik, how much would that have changed wrestling? You know what I mean? If we didn't have, some of these guys, Blackjack Mulligan in here,
Hmm.
he was the guy I watched on Saturday morning all the time. But I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him on the mount, but he was part of laying that foundation back in the day.
Right. Right.
So, And ST, in academic presidential polls, only 2 of our real Mount Rushmore presidents are routinely top 5 best presidents. So yeah, it's not the top 4 at all. Okay,
Right, right.
so
But it's a
but
different type of Mount Rushmore. What do you you know?
yeah,
But people talk about the Mount Rushmores in sports, and
yeah. Well,
it's
we
a
might
tough
have to
question.
have a wrestling show now because like I say, soon the holidays are through. I'm going to sit down with ST and I'm going to play his game. He's going to show me how to play it. Hopefully, I won't have to wait until the D2D convention to sit down with him and play it. Dave Little's going to sit down with Phil Singer wrestling with me, and maybe I'll dig out Chris's dice wrestling game. It's just kind of a simple game to play. It could be kind of fun. Now where's the guy Phil that does the wrestling podcast? We're talking wrestling, and his ears aren't burning.
Phil soured with gaming.
Oh, is he?
Yep,
I'm
yep,
sorry, I'm sorry, Phil. We were talking
yep.
wrestling, Phil, for what it's worth. And back to the fanatic Flyer fan. I think for any Rushmore conversation, the valid people have an impact on many factors, such as popularity, technique, and awareness. Yep. And that's a good point. The evil foreign wrestlers were the best. Yeah, when they had, the Russian guys come in the 80s during the Cold War, and then in the 90s when you had
How
the
about
guys
Tanaka and Fuji?
from the Middle East when they were carrying their Iraq flags or whatever it was. Yeah, you
Tanaka
know.
and Fuji, I used to love them too. You throw the salt in your eyes.
Oh, Fuji with a salt. Yeah, I saw them at the Garden pull that crap out. They fought the Strongbows and they threw the salt in the eyes. Yeah, it's part of our ceremony. you know, Macho Man Hulk handshake was the best stuff ever, says DJ. So
ST, what would Gardner's wrestling name be? The podcast name. No, the rule breaker. The rules breaker.
Tom comes by. Good to see you, Tom. So yeah, we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. I got to get some sleep because I got to get up tomorrow. I got to make some videos. I got a
Hey,
game to do.
Jerome, good morning. Oh, we have an email to answer for Jerome that he
Okay.
sent us. I know you raced in the door to get this in, but yeah. So if we can visit that tomorrow, that would
Okay.
be great. You just
Now,
need some
we'll, we'll
answers.
we'll we'll talk off air about that because if it's something that affects the giveaways, I got to know because I'm going to be doing the videos tomorrow.
Okay, I'll bring it up on the welfare.
Okay. Some good names here. Yeah. So anyway, well, we're going to jump out here. It's getting to be a little past the witching hour out here.
I want to look and see my landscaper should be here early, salting and cleaning and
So, if you are a channel member or a Patreon, be looking for videos tomorrow. I may try to get to it in the morning. If everything's all settled, I'll try to do it before I go to work. If not, then I'll do it when I come home from work around supper time. I would like to get something playing here on the channel tomorrow night at some point, but it really, I really need to get those videos out with the prizes so I can get that into the
listen,
system. So,
Knowles fan must he must have named about 50 different wrestlers tonight. He gets the award for the most names thrown out in the chat.
right.
Oh my gosh. Good
Uh,
job, Knowles fan. Good job. Bob's, have a good night. Stay safe,
yeah.
please. Don't be killing
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for everybody coming by tonight. And again, look for some videos tomorrow if all goes well. If not, worst case Monday morning. I will get them done Monday morning at the latest, but I want to get them in the pipeline tomorrow so we can start sorting
Yeah.
out this mess. I want to give everybody a week to respond to those videos and to put their prizes in order that they would like. Oh, and again, while everybody's here, before we go, I know that not all of you saw this, but this is how we're gonna do it here. All right, let me go back
Oh,
over
wow, that's
here.
cool. Iron
So
Sheik has a connection in Jerome's family.
so this is this is what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna when we spin our wheel, and we'll have different categories. So I'll have three chat room categories: YouTube and Patreon, and we'll spin the wheel, and we'll see which group's gonna win the prize at that point. So on this point here, we'll go to chat room 2. All right, so chat room 2 will win. And then what I will do is I will go over here and I will open the chat room 2 wheel, and we'll have probably a whole bunch of names on here, and I'll spin this wheel. And that's how we're going to figure out who's going to win the prizes here. And if you do win the prize, then
Those
you
fans
will
are
come
still
off.
pumping out names.
So that's how we're gonna do
Oh.
the chat.
And listen, people, Dave is going far and above to explain exactly what needs to be done. So please watch the previous video he did a couple of days ago. Listen to what, even if you're not here live, to listen to what he's putting out there for the week, because we're a week out and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's just everybody has to do their part too. Okay, we want it to be a really, really fun
Yeah.
thing. But there is going to be stuff that you're going to need to do if you win, or if you're a paid subscriber. So please listen to the stuff Dave's putting out. Don't let him just,
Mm,
because then he gets hit with questions and you just finished discussing it and
yeah.
putting it out there. So
I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for everybody, so everybody knows what's expected of them and what's expected of us. And I just don't want to have an issue where someone complains about, well, I won but I didn't get my thing, or I how come I wasn't on the list. So no one is automatically entered in anything. So just be clear, no one is automatically entered. If you're a YouTube channel member or a Patreon subscriber, you'll be getting videos in probably the next 24 hours or so explaining what to do and how to respond, and you will not have to be in the chat room. Okay, but you do have to respond, so I know that you want to be part of this. I'm not going to
yes,
assume anything. So I'm not going to assume that anybody, whether a channel member or a Patreon, anybody at all, it wants to be part of this.
right,
And I want to know what prizes you want and put them in order so we can go down that list in case the one you want is not available.
yeah,
If you're in the chat room, it's just going to be, I'm going to be typing as many names into the wheel as possible. Probably put 50 on each wheel if we have 150 people. If we have more than that, well, maybe I'll create another wheel. And then I'm just going to spin the wheel and get the name. And if you're in the chat room, you do have to let us know. You have to be here. You have 2 to 3 minutes to respond to us. If you do not, we go on to the next spin.
right. And then you're going to have to respond if you do
Yep.
win. You're
Yep.
also going to have to respond to whether it's going to be us or the person giving the prize away.
Yep.
So there is a little bit of work, because if
Yep.
these prizes don't go, they'll get raffled off at D to
Yep.
D
Yep.
or something.
We're gonna do this again. If all goes well, we're gonna do this again in the spring. Or
It's
maybe
gotta
even
be
before the
fun.
spring. Yeah,
It's gotta
we're
be
gonna
fun.
keep it going because I want to get. I'm gonna do another video talking about channel members and Patreons and what I want to do with them. I want to get more giveaways with them, and I want to talk about more of the perks that I want to give to those people there. So people would want to support the channel. Either year round or as much as possible. So anyway, so that is that. So yeah, so that was a fun little wrestling talk, and I just talked a little bit about everything. That was a good time. And
Yes.
again, be looking for those videos tomorrow because December 14th, which is already December 14th, so that was the cutoff, is for prizes and for subscribing. So I will get that out to you guys tomorrow.
Stinks. I was going to have Ryan, Joe, and Ray come out tomorrow.
But you guys, the snow, yeah.
Those two are coming from, they got a longer ride than Joe, and God forbid something happens. So
Yeah, and sometimes it's just
not worth it.
so anyway, so all right, folks. Hopefully we'll talk to you later, one way or another, and maybe I'll get some gaming going on the channel tomorrow night, depending how the day goes. So we'll talk to you later.
Good night. God bless.